I will have this timestamp in the description, but remember the timestamp: 8 minutes, 1 second. Alright, I'm going to pause here for a moment, and I'm going to talk about what you see on the left here. This is a traffic accident. To the best of my knowledge, nobody was seriously hurt. In the rear there, you see what we refer to as a hot shot. That is a 1-ton pickup, usually, towing a 20 to 40 foot gooseneck flatbed or sometimes an enclosed trailer, and they haul freight just like I do. These drivers, as a general rule, are not as professional as a well-trained Class 8 driver. They have a tendency of tailgating. They have a tendency of cutting traffic off. They also have a tendency of not recognizing their stopping distance or following distance requirements. What most likely happened at that stoplight is he was following too close. Truck in front saw the light turn yellow, stood on the brakes to try and stop for the red, and the hotshot rear-ended him. That is most likely what happened. Yeah. Now, there is the other possibility, and I've seen this happen, where somebody gets in front of a vehicle that is maintaining their following distance, then stands on the brakes and tries to claim insurance fraud. That is always a thing that's possible. I've had it happen to me. I, however, did not hit somebody. I don't know for sure what happened. Those are the two most likely possibilities. Just wanted to throw out there that this is what you see. There is an accident on video. I caught it in a time lapse, so there wasn't much time to really see what was going on there. That's why I did the freeze frame. If you got any questions, pop them down in the comments. I'll answer them as I can. I gotta stop and give this knucklehead a shout out. I know it's quick. You might even have to pause the video and go frame by frame, because it happened about that fast. Keep in mind that my camera is taking shots at about every half second. That guy pulled out in front of me with me doing 65 mile an hour, and he had to jerk it to the shoulder while I was grabbing the left lane trying to go around him. If you freeze frame on that guy, you'll see that he had his foot in it and there was black smoke rolling from that Chevy. He was giving it all he had. Here in a second, you're going to see me come up on a four-wheeler that was running really slow in the right lane. They were doing 45 and a 70. And a school bus that was merging onto the interstate. There's a catch. The reason I stayed in the left lane so long is the school bus accelerated up next to me with a busload full of kids and would not let me complete the pass. I topped out my truck, and then she intentionally matched me and just hung out there. Very unprofessional. I moved over to let the school bus in while I was passing, but then she didn't let me back over. Alright, last surprise of the day. I promise. I froze at this point for a reason. I want you to get the same effect that I got when I crest the hill. Then I want you to stop, go back in the video about 30 seconds. That'll give you 5 minutes worth of warning in real time for me. And I want you to see if you see any signs. Post in the comments what you find. Oh, one last tidbit. Remember that when this happens, I'm doing 70 miles an hour with a vehicle on my left hanging out at my drives. Nowhere for me to go. They had to stand on the brakes and let me move over. Now, just in case you missed it, I stopped and I did a freeze frame for each moment where this became an absolute oh fuck moment. When I crested that hill, I had 500 feet to respond to this work crew with no warning, no signs, and a vehicle on my left side. There were no cones, no signs, nothing between me and those trucks. I was fully loaded. I was on the brakes as soon as I crested the hill. An 80,000-pound truck does not stop on a dime. It takes no less than 750 feet at 55 miles an hour for me to stop. To the Oklahoma Department of Transportation, this was absolutely unacceptable. But I guarantee you, if I had hit anybody in that work crew, chances are I would have been blamed and somebody would be dead. That whole incident took less than 3 seconds to transpire. Statistically, an accident happens in 3 to 7 seconds. I want you to think about how fast that is. When you go to answer a text message, did you know the average person loses 60 seconds of focus on the road every time they look at their phone screen? This happened in less than 5 seconds. Drive safe. Stay safe. Practice safe. And I'll see you in the next video.